Oh, welcome back to another episode of Steve Actually Does Something. Hey man, I'm excited to start this new thing. I'm gonna start making my banjo today. It shouldn't take but a couple of days, depending on how much opportunity I get a chance to work at it. I don't have a bit of musical talent. Can't sing, can't carry a note. I barely know a banjo from a ukulele. But I've always liked the sound of a banjo, so by a couple of people on here have talked me into getting to making a banjo instead of buying one, and I think it's a good idea. Cause I mean, if I end up can't play, I can always blame it on the builder. But yeah, let me show you what we got to work with real quick. See, oh, this is just old stick I had in the shed. It's about a 1.5, 3/4 or something like that. This is the tin I'm going to use right here. Just an old 9-inch tin. I'm going to use this for the back. This is going to be the front. Just because I can take that back off and work on it if I need to on the inside, the inner workings of it. So, but I need to cut my handle down to 32 inches. I was going to use it this long here as this piece of scrap I had. It was 48 inches. But I said, nah, I better not. So, what the plans call for, most everybody builds them like 32 inches or 27 inches or something like that. It has to do with tonation and everything else. I don't know, I'm learning a lot. But we'll see how much trouble I get into. Ought to be a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, about 3 months now. And this first chance I had a chance to get it to tackle it. I'm sitting outside today. It's cool out. I think it was about 90. So, sitting in the shade. But let's get on it and see what we got to do. I got to attach this stick to that can right there and put a couple of strings on it. It's not that big a deal. Shouldn't be. Might take me 6 months. Alright, I got my piece cut off. I meant to cut the camera on so you I can actually use the saw. But what I've done is I've marked 4 inches here. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Back y'all up a touch. I've marked 4 inches here. This first line's for the head. Here's the next one's where my nut's going to be. That's about a 1/4 inch or something like that away. And I'm going to cut this piece out right here. Because my head, my tuner is, that's got to go through my board. And it's a little bit, the board is a little bit too thick. So I'm going to have to trim this end down so it'll stick through there, and I can tune my daggone strings, what I'm gonna have to do. So we'll see. Alright, we got that done. It's not exactly straight and flat, but I'll go back and sand it smooth because I gotta sand this is where I cut it off at too. So we'll get that sanded down and we'll be ready to rock. Alright, I got that sanded. It's fairly smooth and pretty level. Now I've marked my spots for my daggone drill my tuners in. I gotta put one right in here, right on there, and one right there in the middle for my bottom one. They're about 1 1/8 or something apart, and they're 3 inches down from each edge here. 3/8 of an inch, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to cut my line from my nut, which I'm actually just using a little, I guess, machine screw. I'm sliding, cut me a little notch in that hole, that curve, that line there, and just mount my nut in there, like my bolt in there like that for my nut. And I ain't got nothing to work with, man. I'm gonna have to use an offset saw. And I'll widen it out with a couple little rasps or files. Alright, I got that done. I got my little groove put in. It's gonna be just the right size. Might have to hollow it out, drop it down just a little bit more, but won't take but a second. Now I'm gonna do well, I just did it before I hooked up on here. I gotta make my little marks for my can where I want to jam this through here. Essentially, I'm going to cut a hole through the top here, like that, and just shove it right on through. I just eyeballed it. You can measure it, but eyeball is good enough, man. It's a piece of scrap board. Actually, this is a piece of board I cut off another board when I was building something else, and it's probably a 50-year-old tin. I remember Mama had this when I was a kid. So, but anyways, and you want your seam on the side. You don't want it where you're going to be cutting out at. So, I don't know if you can see where I just made little marks there. It's about where I want it at on both sides. What I'm going to do is measure the thickness of my board. And then I'll make a little square there on my box. Well, that's the end of day one. I got my dry fitting done. See how it's supposed to slide in there? I screwed up because I wanted to cut this piece here so it would fold up. And I cut it so it folded down. But this one here is right. See right there? Like that. That way I can put a screw on here to hold the stick. So, but I got my head cut and smooth. I got my holes drilled for my tuners. See if I got one on me. You get an idea what it'll look like. Oh, I'll put them up, didn't I? Put them in a baggie. Hold on. See here. Let's throw one through there. So you can get an idea how it looks. So my guess is I can use it as a open back, or I can put the top on it, use it as a closed back, or I can put what do they call that thing, a pickup on the inside here. Depends on what I decide to do later on. Just depends on how I like it or whatever. This here was just a quick little throw together because I've always wanted to try one. But I dry fit it today. I'm going to sand it and probably I'm just going to put some clear coat over it, a couple coats of clear coat. It's going to wear off, but if it wears off, that means I'm practicing. Alright, I don't know what day this is. I've been doing this probably 4 or 5 days, I guess. After I cut it off the last time. All I did was go ahead and put a clear coat over this. A couple of coats of that. While I was waiting to dry, I put this here. Put these little rivets down in there for the strings. The can will go down to here, and then my strings will go down and just keep it from wearing through the wood. It's just something I've seen somebody else do on one. There's all kinds of ways to do this. It's pretty much totally up to however you want to do it. But now today, it's pretty much all I got to do is put my can on top of it and attach my strings and put my daggone tuners on it. So let's get on that. All I did for these is I just drilled 3 holes down here, and just squeezed them in with a pair of pliers is all. Alright, what I got to do here is I'm going to hammer this flat. That way I can screw my screw in there into my board and hold it tight. Alright, now I got to put these little tuners in here. I got these straight from a place called C.B.Gitty. It's a big online place for cigar box guitars. They sell, they even sell complete kits for you to build them on out of, give you the box and everything. I had all this junk laying around. I didn't have the tuners, the strings, and I went ahead and bought a couple of the bridges. You can do the same thing I'm doing for this, use a bolt or a piece of wood, just lay across there, but I went ahead and done it. I think it cost me 20 bucks or less for the tuners and strings and the daggone the bridge. So I'm gonna put the tuners in now. Alright, I got them put down in there. You gotta be careful because they got little bitty screws. And you gotta be careful you don't lose one of them. And the key is to get your gears facing towards the head of the instrument. They're a little lopsided, but they'll do for my first attempt. I think next time I have my headstock there a little bit wider and a little bit longer. You see, next I'm going to put on my the nut. Now, one other thing I did do while I was waiting on the clear coat to dry was I went around here, since this is a tin can, I went around the edges of the opening there and just made sure there weren't no sharp things, burrs and stuff on it, because it'd cut the heck out of you. It's just a tin can. So I'm gonna glue the nut in, and then I'm going to I guess I'll wait and let that dry, and I'll come back and put the strings on. It should be finished. I don't know. Well, I finally finished that banjo build. I'll give y'all a look at it. This is the back of it here. Pretty picture. Yeah, it goes like that, I guess. That's the front of it. It ain't as pretty, but it's the way I chose to do it. Problem is, it gave me high strings because I had to avoid this lip here. So, but being able to open the back gives me options. I get to carry my pick. I don't have a pick. I'm just using this old tag right now. And since the strings are so high and I don't have any frets, I got to use I got my fret markers marked up here. I kind of went off of tone, and it kind of so I'm pretty close. I ain't exact, I don't reckon, but I'm pretty daggone close. You can tell the difference. But since the strings are so high, I have to learn off the slide. This is what I use for my slide right now. Pretty much play it like a daggone dobro. You know, lay it on your lap and play it like that. So I'm going to be learning how to use a slide here for long. And I'll probably get me a regular pick eventually. And I used, I did go out and buy me a tuner. I think it's like $4 on Amazon. So I got it tuned to GDG, I believe it is. And it's fairly loud. I don't know how all you can hear it. So I can keep the back on it. It deadens it a little bit. But I really wanted to learn the claw hammer, because I like that little what they call it. I don't know, it's sort of drum sound. I can't think of what they call it. Because I like it. I think it adds a little something to the music when you hear them guys play it. I have been practicing my daggone bum ditty. So I've had it done probably 2-3 weeks now. I just ain't had a chance to put out the final part of my video. But I'm looking forward to learning how to play it. I ain't musically inclined. It's going to take a lot of work for me, but I've always loved the sound of a banjo. And so I figured that this was a cheap way to get my hands on one and to see whether I'd like it or not, whether I'd stay with it. You know, I didn't blow $300, $400, $500 on one when it $20, $25 and I got one to go. I appreciated those Swamp Rat for talking me into it. And I'll tell you now, there's a big online community of people that play these things, and them guys know what they're doing, Doc. And they, I mean, somebody knows what they're doing with a guitar or a banjo, man. They can make that sucker sound just like a regular one. And that was another reason I left it open, because I can go put an electronic pickup in there so I can plug it into an amp if I want to. And them guys do that stuff online, man. Them builders and the ones that play them. I mean, it's just unreal how good they sound. Listen, here's, you know, they sell kits. C.B.Gitty. That's who I got my stuff from. I got my tuners, my strings, and I went ahead and splurged and got the bridge for it. You can make one out of a piece of scrap wood, or you can put your bolt down there like I did the nut. You know, it's pretty much your style, however you want to do it. But I'm looking forward to this winter, trying to learn it. I've already been kicked out of the house. I'm gonna spend a lot of time this winter over in the dungeon. But listen, man, it's not that hard. I recommend anybody who wants to try one, give it a shot. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad it's over with. It didn't take probably 2 days maybe to build the whole thing. I just stretched it out over about a month. I'd go a week, not even touch it. But you can check out C.B.Gitty out for anything you might need. They even sell whole kits. There's plenty of videos on here taking you step by step of how to do it. So, but I'm sorry the video's so long. I try to cut it down as much as I can. But it takes me a long time to do anything. But y'all take care, man. We'll talk to y'all later.